In many instances, I think people would be very scared and nervous about what we were doing. And it's funny, I felt it. Also could be that I'm 6 years older than my last big climb. It's been a lot more difficult to get ready for this climb, and I know that it'll be a more challenging summit push than I think I was hoping it would be. Making the summit doesn't define our success, like just being here defines our success. My name is Chris Bombardier, and I'm the Executive Director of Save One Life. And I'm also the first person with hemophilia to climb the 7 summits. This project started about 2 years ago when I met Paul, who's from France, and he's the father of 2 boys with hemophilia. And he reached out to me. He saw Bombardier Blood, the documentary, a few years ago, and was really excited to see that as a new parent of somebody with hemophilia, seeing what was possible.
So I'm Paul. I'm 34 years old. I'm from France. I am the father of 2 little boys with severe hemophilia A. The oldest one is 6.5. The little one is 2.
There you go.
We are one of those families where we don't have any history with hemophilia. It came as a shock. It was quite a story. With him having just a little cut on the gum brake, and it ended up like life-threatening situation. They close the door and you're never quite sure if you're going to see your son again, so it's very brutal, it's a shock. You have to process also hemophilia, but there's also the processing of that your son almost died, so you have to rebuild on that, and I think it changes you from deep inside. So I come from sports. Pretty much my whole life is dedicated to sports. My wife she was a professional athlete, so physical activity, sports for us is very life-defining. And so first when you enter hemophilia, it's not like, yeah, let's make champions and athletes. It's more like, go easy guys, let's figure it out before we do anything silly. But instantly we really, without saying, we agreed that physical activity should be part of the equation. We managed to learn bit by bit that actually physical activity is kind of the answer actually to hemophilia, at least for this new generation of hemophiliacs. It's doing them so much good. Mont Blanc is obviously a very famous mountain. We can actually see it from our window. It's very important for us. So that's really where the idea started in my head. Like, we should take a team on top of the Mont Blanc. It would be such a cool example for the community to show that it's possible, it's doable.
So Mount Blanc is a beautiful mountain in the French Alps. It is 15,771 feet high, 4,809 meters. It's really unique because it's a very tall mountain and also very accessible, being very close to some mountain towns like Chamonix that we're in right now. So we've been working on getting this team together for over a year, reaching out to different communities in Europe, trying to find people that are in like reasonably good shape that would be excited to start training more seriously for something like this. I know how powerful the mountains can be and transformative, so I'm really excited to see how that impacts our climbers on our team.
The start of the adventure.
Roberto Centurame, hemophilia A, grave.
Daniel, I'm from Czech Republic.
I'm Rafael, I'm French.
I'm Jost, I'm from Slovenia.
My name is Panos, I'm from Greece. I'm a hematologist, I'm a doctor. I have severe hemophilia A.
Hi, my name's Clive, I'm from England. I have severe hemophilia A.
Well, I'm Anna Franziska from Düsseldorf, Germany.
When I got the email from Paul, I almost deleted it because I thought it was a spam. Because I thought, who would ever ask me to go on like such a big adventure? It's crazy.
My journey's taken me from one end of the spectrum to the other, in the sense that, you know, I'm the youngest of three brothers, all with severe haemophilia A, and growing up, hospital wasn't even a second home, it was home. Just being able to walk was a challenge, so the thought of doing sport was just not even on my radar. And then when I was about 9 or 10 years old, we all started treating prophylactically, and it was like someone flicked a switch in my life. Yeah, I was the first person in the world with severe haemophilia to complete an Ironman, so when I did my Ironmans, it was a personal journey for me at the time, but it was also a wider journey in terms of breaking down barriers about perceptions of what people with haemophilia can do, and I say that internally within the community, not just externally. Treatment has moved on massively in the last 5 to 10 years, but perceptions, I think, are still lagging behind.
I think my younger self wouldn't have never believed I would be able to climb Mont Blanc. Being a woman with a rare disease is, I think, sometimes more difficult. I mean, the male experience is a different experience in the medical world. It's just like that. And I'm trying to not to tear up, sorry. I think women in the medical world are often not believed about pain issues, and this is unfortunately a part of my experience. I really want to give girls hope.
Pretty much hemophilia was like the reason why I was keeping active. I was lucky enough to start prophylaxis really early in my life. Running was my thing. So my first main thing was volunteering for the London 10K in 2010. Like, I was 18 years old. And when I got to Athens and start my medical training, I went to mountains more and more. And I was like doing hiking and trail run, and it was so nice. And it was my way to feel like relaxed and be happy.
Fino a che nel 2004 sono riuscito a fare una protesi a un ginocchio sinistro e nel 2005 una protesi nel ginocchio destro. E da lì è iniziato un mio nuovo percorso. Tutto quello che non ero riuscito a farlo prima per le mie limitazioni, mi sono dedicato nel fare l'arrampicata sportiva e ho fatto un campionato nazionale, sono arrivato secondo di categoria, quindi questa iniziativa l'ho presa, anche non sono mai salito in montagna oltre 2000 metri. E quindi per me questo è un segno importante da poter dare a tutte le persone che vedranno questo video.
Na začetku so zdravniki zelo odsvetovali šport, nisem smel se udeleževati nobenega športa. V srednji šoli so nam učitelji dali za nalogo, da kolesarimo. Kolesarjenje je zelo priporočljivo za hemofilike. Zdaj naredim 5000 km vsako leto. Tudi mogoče en izmed razlogov, zakaj sem se odločil iti na Mont Blanc, je, ker je bil moj dedek na Mont Blancu 2-krat. Zelo rad je hodil v hribe in ko je slišal, da grem na Mont Blanc, tudi je bil zelo vesel. Prinesel sem njegov cepin, z njim je bil 2-krat na Mont Blancu, enkrat na Mont Everestu in enkrat na Araratu. Zelo je težek in star, ampak mi je všeč, ker je dolg in jaz sem visok in mi je ravno prav velik.
Pour moi, c'était normal d'avoir des problèmes de santé, d'avoir des douleurs, d'avoir des hématomes qui faisaient la taille du muscle. Pour les autres enfants, je voyais dans leur regard que c'était pas normal quand j'allais à la piscine et que j'avais des bleus et des ecchymoses sur tout le corps. Donc, du coup, j'ai grandi avec cette image de normalité, de douleur et de traces sur le corps, du fait de ne pas pouvoir faire tout ce qu'on voulait. Et grâce au nouveau traitement aussi, j'ai les articulations en très bonne santé, j'ai aucun problème de santé avec l'hémophilie. J'ai pas d'appréhension sur l'ascension, je suis physiquement prêt pour l'ascension. Je me suis entraîné pour ça toute l'année, et l'année dernière. Et enfin, mon quotidien en fait en montagne me permet d'être vraiment confiant physiquement.
When I get the invitation here, I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna do it. That was like the main reason, the first reason. The second reason also is like helping the Save One Life to collect the money. Kids then they didn't have much luck as I do growing up in Czech Republic or in Europe in general. I was diagnosed like later in my first or second year of life. It was something new for my family, so from the beginning they were really scared of everything I was doing as I was growing up. I would like to inspire people to appreciate the right treatment they have and not underestimate it, because it's not in every part of the world.
So Save One Life is a 501c3 nonprofit based in the United States, and we currently work in 15 different developing countries with the goal of helping improve people with bleeding disorders' lives by providing better access to medicine, better access to hospitals and care, better access to education. On several of our Zoom calls, we invited Save One Life beneficiaries to join and share their stories about living with hemophilia in various countries. And for me, that was really important. When I was doing my climbs, I always wanted to make sure it was a fundraiser for Save One Life and making sure we were bringing awareness to access to care. So when we decided to do this project, that was really important for me to continue that part of the mission as well, not just the climbing mountains part and getting to do something for ourselves, but doing something bigger. Not everyone has these opportunities and chances, and that we need to, as a community, remember and try and make changes around the world to make sure everybody can have the same access to care.
We all met on Sunday, the 7th of July. We all met in Chamonix for the first time. Most of the guys didn't know each other. I'm always amazed how fast it goes in hemophilia to build a team. It's like they know each other for ages.
First day was just right away getting gear, getting fitted for gear, talking about the plan, and then really, one night's sleep, and then we were going up on the mountain.
So right now in Courmayeur on the Italian side of the Mont Blanc. We're gonna do the first day, like a little bit of a practice training, crampons, going on the glacier. Try to test a little bit, see if Chris can handle it. That's the main question today. And we're gonna take a gondola to go up to over 3,000 meter elevation. That will be 12,000 feet.
It's for you to enjoy all the view.
Wow.
Our first day, we just did some walking around on crampons, climbing some steep faces, just to kind of give everybody a little taste of what it was going to look like, and also get a little bit of acclimation up at a higher altitude. Great day, pretty tough day, but really fun.
I think that the chemistry between the team it's getting better, and it's growing, and we keep communicating with each other.
I'm very happy I was able to keep up with the boys. Whew, that was quite a concern for me. Yes.
And then the next 2 days were spent up on the mountain, where we got to actually sleep up in one of the huts. And we did kind of similar stuff, more just walking around on crampons, walking on some steep snow ridges, just so people get the feeling of what it's like to walk on a narrow ridge, how to, kind of keep your brain focused. And then a lot more rock scrambling before we got into the hut, which was definitely challenging. And I think a lot of people were a little bit surprised at how challenging it was.
When I was a kid, my left knee was my target joint. So till now, I can sometimes feel it. When I do something like jogging over 5 kilometers, I can feel my left knee like hurting a little.
I found that when we were up at altitude overnight, I wasn't physically sick, but I had a really, really bad headache and felt like my head wanted to explode.
On my first day, I was almost like asthmatic, so I could really feel like there was no air. I'm not very confident in myself, so I still think I'm the weakest link. I'm not a pro athlete like everyone else, so I think for me it's a little harder, but I will just try and do my best.
Torej, preden sem začel s pripravami na Mont Blanc, sem prebral nekaj knjig in pogledal nekaj videov, kaj se priporoča za priprave. Vsi so svetovali tek, torej prej nikoli nisem tekel zares. Mislil sem, da je tek dolgočasen, da je naporen, da je slab za kolena recimo. Ampak sem vseeno šel prvič laufat in mi je bilo zelo všeč.
You know, we've had 2 or 3 days training here now, and I think my level of respect for what we're about to do has grown. But I think for a lot of us it was relatively unknown in terms of what the challenges were going to be. I think we all knew that there'd be physical challenges, and I know that, and I've experienced it over the last couple of days, that my ankles are a challenge, and I always knew that was going to be the case.
I have a big respect towards the mountains, especially after those 3 days. I feel really confident with hiking. It was okay for me. I'm in a good condition for it. What concerns me a little is the climbing parts, where I was really scared of heights. I'm not usually scared of heights, but when I was standing on the stone and beneath me was 1,000 meters nothing, I was really scared.
In terms of how much we're pronating, in terms of the weather conditions, the snow, how much, when you put your foot down, is it just going to stop straight away, or is it going to keep going for a foot or two? That kind of thing. So I always knew that adjusting and managing the physical challenges were going to be part of it.
The ascent or the success, it's not just on you. Every mountain has its own microclimate, so they are unpredictable. Of course, the crevasses, the avalanches, because of the increased temperatures this year and the last year, the risk is very high.
I think so. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Looks okay for tomorrow morning.
We will see, because there's going to have more snow.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Maybe some wind. Everybody's okay?
Oui.
Let's go.
Okay.
Vamos.
It's fine. I think as long as we're moving, we'll stay warm.
The weather today is not really good. You can see. We think it's a good choice to try the summit maybe tomorrow. But we thinking it's good to try, and we will see. So we go to the first hut.
We're all very enthusiastic about the ascent, but we learned about the weather. Mountains are unpredictable, so we have to adapt.
A little disappointed at this point?
I think we've always known that we might not get to the top, but actually, when you're so close geographically and everything else, and you're told that it might not happen, that's obviously, as Daniel says, a bit disappointing, but I think I'm still optimistic. I think everyone else is, so we'll just keep our fingers crossed, keep our eyes on the weather and see what happens.
So we're at the hut for the first night of our summit push. As you can see from this background, the weather is not great. And unfortunately, it looks like it's not going to be the best for tomorrow. But we're still going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and head out shortly after that to give it a shot and see how it looks. All depending on the weather, obviously, so we've got to make safe decisions and the right decisions. But it should be an interesting day tomorrow, and we'll see if this changes, but hopefully. traction on the wind.
Oh, that was wild. Honestly, at the top we just had to stop there, crouch it down. Oh, the snow was just pelting your face.
Wow. I almost wanted to stay and would just close.
Yeah.
Stay there.
It's like mesmerizing almost.
Our idea is to leave in half an hour and try to at least make it to the top of Dome du Goûter, which is the big dome here. Yeah, we start getting ready in half an hour. You all up for that program? Yeah. Yes.
L'ascension était difficile, il y avait énormément de vent, de grêle, c'était très dur. On avait l'impression de devoir avancer 2 fois pour un seul pas. C'était éprouvant.
Because of the big wind, I think it was like 80 kilometers per hour at its peak. We weren't able just to get up there safely.
Roberto, tell me what's up. Are you guys stopping for now or what's...
Et puis on était parti en sachant qu'on ferait pas le sommet.
We almost got there, really close, a few hundred meters away, but it was safer to turn back.
Et dans la redescente, on voit tous ces beaux paysages, on se rend compte de ce qu'on vient d'accomplir et c'est émotionnellement très fort en fait de se rendre compte de l'effort qu'on vient de fournir et de tout ce qu'on a fait, que ce qu'on a vécu aujourd'hui va nous unir pour longtemps et j'espère qu'on pourra s'en servir pour donner un bon message bien positif à tous les hémophiles qu'on va pouvoir rencontrer, chacun dans son pays, parce que c'est une histoire incroyable. Peu de gens croyaient qu'on allait y arriver, et on l'a fait. Alors je suis très fier de ça.
We didn't get to the summit, but I mean we showed that hemophilia can really do it. We had the physical capability to do it, and also what we showed was the responsibility, because we wouldn't push it to our limits. We just knew it's not really safe. So we just turned around, and I think that's what we wanted to show to the others. So yeah, just like to know who thinks that all of this was successful.
Yeah.
Who think it was successful? Raise your
No,
hand.
so see me.
So when you all left, it was just me and Chris left, and I shared this quote with him. Some of you may have heard it before. It's called "The Man in the Arena" by Theodore Roosevelt. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. And if he fails, at least he fails whilst daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat.
Well, it was a crazy experience. It was so hard. I think that's the hardest thing I have ever done. I've never really felt like connected to the hemophilia community. It was just so beautiful to be able to bond with so many people that have hemophilia. So that was fantastic for me.
So I wanted to say a few last words before we go down in the valley. Chris and Clive, I want you guys to know that you've paved the road for this to happen.
If you told me at the start that we weren't going to summit Mont Blanc, I think I probably would have felt quite negative about the whole experience. But we just walked down the steps behind here, getting off the last gondola and getting back down to sea level effectively, and I feel nothing but pride and achievement, which sounds crazy when we didn't achieve what it was we set out to achieve, but it wasn't just about summiting Mont Blanc, because I still think we got absolutely everything out of this that we came for and more.
Jost! Your grandfather will be so proud of you. You are now a Slovenian legend. Go back to your country and spread the word. Hemophiliacs can do anything.
My grandfather had 4 climbs with this ice axe. 2 from Mont Blanc, 1 from Kilimanjaro and 1 for Ararat. I wanted to wait for my grandfather to do together, but all of people in our group convinced me to do it together.
Robertito, you are the most inspiring person I've met in my life. Never stop fighting. What an amazing feeling to see you enter that hut at almost 4,400 meters of altitude. You are a legend. We are lucky to have crossed your path.
Nel caso non riuscirei a raggiungere il Monte Bianco, per me riporto a casa questa grandissima esperienza, un obiettivo anche a tutti gli emofilici che ci vedranno, per dire non da provare a fare una scalata del Monte Bianco, ma nel quotidiano anche alzarsi dalla poltrona, fare una passeggiata, fare un po' di attività fisica. La scalata del Monte Bianco è una donazione che faccio a tutti quanti gli altri e non è per me.
Επίσης θέλω να το αφιερώσω σε όλους τους ανθρώπους που πίστεψαν σε μένα, στους ανθρώπους που έκαναν τις δωρεές τους, αλλά και σε όλους τους αιματολόγους της Ελλάδας και όλου του κόσμου που παλεύουν καθημερινά με τις τόσο δύσκολες ασθένειες που έχουμε, αλλά επίσης θέλω να το αφιερώσω και στους ασθενείς μου, σε αυτούς που βρίσκονται εν ζωή, αλλά και σε αυτούς που δεν είναι εν ζωή, για τους αγώνες που έδωσαν, γιατί για μένα είναι πηγή έμπνευσης και ήταν ένας από τους λόγους για τους οποίους συμμετείχα και καθημερινά προσπαθώ να είμαι ο καλύτερος με αυτός.
When you have to face stuff like hemophilia, it makes you an extremely strong person. And it made me quite emotional because I know my sons are so strong.
I was so proud of everyone. You know, it just shows how strong people in our community are, and shows that it's not just me that can do it, but so many people in our community are strong, tough, smart, and that's been pretty powerful. So insanely proud of everybody on our team. So I'm really happy how it turned out.